I'm Jocelyn Rios from Funimation, and this is One Piece at a Time. I'm your host and a social media producer. And in celebration of the One Piece anime's 20th anniversary, I'm watching the show for the first time, and every week, a seasoned fan rewatching the series will join me in exploring each episode following the Merry Route binge guide. So come on board on this adventure starting right now. The last podcast episode, which was episode 25, we went through anime episodes 192 to 199. And we reached the conclusion of Skypiea arc, Tears.
Part of the ending was, how are we going to spend all this money?
Yes.
All this gold. They're talking about, we can get a statue.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you know there is a statue of Luffy?
Yes. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah. I think last year they put it up or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Luffy really got his statue.
They did.
That's amazing.
And we shared the post about it.
So what else happened? They rang the bell,
yes,
which was very emotional. And so at the end of their adventure, the crew fell from the sky, and of all places, they landed at a marine base called G8.
Yes, G8.
So we follow them as they wander through the base, and Zoro and Usopp end up captured. So on this podcast episode, which is episode 26, we're going to go through anime episodes 200 to 207, and the crew will try to recover Zoro and Usopp and make their way to the Merry, but they won't leave without their treasure. So we'll see how it ends.
Yeah, they need their treasure. Their gold.
Episode 200. Luffy and Sanji's daring rescue mission. Zoro and Usopp are in jail. And Usopp's mad at first that Robin threw him, to the wolves. Sorta.
Robin's just being, efficient and clever.
She's being the smart person here. And Zoro points out that she probably knew that Usopp would be safer.
Yeah, with Zoro. Yeah.
Which is a very good point, I think.
And then Usopp's like, you can protect me.
Exactly. The crew is joined by Major Shepherd, who Robin had knocked out to steal his outfit, and she's posing as the inspector, right? Mm-hmm. So the Marines throw Major Shepherd into the brig with the other guys, thinking that he's a Straw Hat too that's wandering the base, right? So
that's probably
So this funny moment happens here because Usopp gets an idea, and he hears the Marines. He hears the Marines talking about, we know you're a Straw Hat or whatnot. So he makes up a name.
Yeah, he takes advantage of that.
Yeah, for this crew member and starts acting like he knows them. And he calls him Condoriano.
Yeah, he's like, Condoriano! And then the actual shepherd, the inspector is like, who are you? What? I'm not a Straw Hat. And then Usopp's like, give up. Just give up. It's
They got you. They discovered you. And he's snickering.
Yeah. I love his face. But he keeps insisting, right? And he's loud. And then, but Usopp does a great job acting. And then Zoro also is like, just be quiet. And then ends up, slamming Condoriano into the bars. And he gets knocked out. And then the face, I love the face that Usopp made afterwards. After, Condoriano is knocked out. I like saying Condoriano.
It's a fun name.
Yeah. And then Zoro's like, your face is creepy or scary.
So then Usopp receives a visit from Mecha, right?
Mecha. Yeah, so Mecha was wondering who had fixed the ship and who had been working on the ship. Well, he assumed it was Usopp. Mm-hmm. But then Usopp, this is when they talk about the mysterious figure that only Usopp saw in Skypiea.
Yes. And I think he tells him that he knows. He might know who it is, but he never tells him. Mm-hmm. I was so mad when they dragged him up the stairs. I was like, oh man, please yell who it was or something.
Oh, are you curious?
Yes, I'm super curious.
What did you speculate?
When that happened, I thought that it maybe was Ganfall who did it, since I don't know.
But the shadow doesn't matter.
But the shadow doesn't match. That's true. But at the moment, I was like, well, who's powerful enough to maybe do this super fast?
Uh-huh.
And that was my theory. But I guess I might be wrong since we still don't know who it was.
Mm-hmm. But now there's a hint, right? It's like, oh, so there's someone there's a being that
Repairs
like,
ships? No.
No, well, I don't know. Well, here's the thing: is how does Mako know?
I have no idea. He hasn't been in the sky. Has he heard stories? I don't know. I have so many questions. He gave me more questions than he answered. I just wanted to know who it was.
Obviously, I'm telling you, as someone who's seen the series, we'll obviously learn.
Yay! Soon or not that soon?
It depends on what you say by soon. What you
Within
mean by
this binge route or
yes.
no? Yes?
Yes.
Okay,
within
great.
this binge route. It's I really enjoy that part of the story. So wait for it. We'll have to go back and be like, so now that you finally know.
Uh-huh.
Again, don't look up stuff. It's no spoilers for you.
No. I am banned from Googling One Piece.
So they're still stuck in the jail. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, Luffy and Sanji are, looking, trying to find them, rescue them.
Yeah.
So Luffy and Sanji are running, looking for, or trying to get to the prison and try to rescue, the people who are captured.
Yes.
They cross that bridge.
Across the bridge. They realize it might be a trap.
Oh, yeah, that Sanji notices it's a bit too cleared. Like, there's no people interfering.
Yeah. They go in, right? And they start yelling. Like, Luffy's yelling for them. Zoro, Usopp,
Luffy's
where
very stealthy.
Are you?
Very good at being
super stealthy.
Yeah.
And Usopp hears them, and he's wondering what to do because he's like, they're walking into a trap. Should we tell them?
Yeah.
What do we tell them? Yeah, we're here. Wait, no. What should I tell them, Zoro? And Zoro's like, tell them they can rescue us if they want. And Usopp's like, yeah, we're here, but you can rescue us if you want. But he never says it's a trap, which is silly to me.
Well, what they're heading there anyway. I mean, it's it's Luffy.
That's true. There was no stopping him.
Yeah,
probably.
there really is. Yeah. Unless they're like, oh, there's food actually somewhere else. Go grab us food first and whatever. Like if you involve food, maybe. So they get to the prison or like the jail.
Yeah.
And
then they're surrounded by Marines.
Yeah.
And
so it was a trap.
It was a trap, of course. And Usopp tells Sanji, hey, I got an impact dial in my pocket.
Use it, even though it hurts. Sanji's like, doesn't that hurt? I was like, no, yeah, but
no time to think.
Yeah.
So Sanji reaches into the pocket, puts the dial, and everybody's like bracing themselves for the impact.
Yeah, even the enemy, the Marines.
And when he hits it, the recording about the snake comes out.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, question marks.
Yeah, all the question marks that appears above their heads.
Yeah.
And they're like, was that something?
Yeah. Was that supposed to happen? And Sanji's face is so annoyed.
Yeah, he looks pissed.
He looks very pissed. Like, he's like, are you embarrassing me?
Yeah, he was like, I can't believe I did that. Like, the whole, like...
Yeah, I was being dramatic.
Attack. And then it's like this recording.
Yeah.
The snake.
So he's like, sorry.
Then, Usopp's like, oh, my bad. Reach out in my other pocket. Of course, the other pocket is the flavor dial.
Flavor dial with Luffy's fart inside.
Because, well, they didn't know that, but they... okay.
He pressed it.
Of course, it's still not
out.
the impact dial, but they push it, and then Usopp's like, who would put this smell, the fart, into the dial? And then Luffy's like, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, Luffy, what are you doing?
I thought it was going to be funny.
But it works because whatever came out, like, it causes the fire to, like, the lights, right? It causes an explosion.
Yeah, it's so bad that it causes an explosion.
Yeah. Is it so bad? Was it the gas? It's the gas.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does it capture the gas? Anyhow, it works. And there's like, watch out, there's an explosion, it explodes. And I think actually with that explosion, basically the jail is broken. And so Zoro breaks their bonds.
Yeah, and they escape, and Robin hears the explosion, and she's in the library checking stuff out, and she's
being
like...
clever, getting
exactly.
all the information
doing
for us.
what she does best, which is
using her
do what
brains.
people are supposed to do. And yeah, she's like, well, I guess the boys made their move. And that's where the episode ends.
Yeah. Oh, but I did find it funny when they always insert these like quick comments that are like really quick. They don't mean much, but it adds to the overall character building. Like Zoro's the one running first, and someone's like, "Don't let Zoro run first. We're gonna get lost."
True. That's true. They do say that.
Yeah,
and it's a true fact. I mean,
it's true.
Luffy and Zoro are the worst at leading because they never know where they're going.
Zoro's really bad at also following directions. But yes, that's where the episode ends. Episode 201 is Enter the Hot-Blooded Special Forces, Battle on the Bridge. So we're on the Red Bridge. Well, okay, so they're running away. They're trying to escape. And then, Luffy's excited about all this fighting.
Yes, he's super stoked.
Yes, so while they're escaping, so there's that announcement that the pirates are on the run.
Yes.
So Dr. Kobato hears that, and she turns to them, and Nami and Chopper are like, oh no, she found out that we're the pirates or part of the pirate crew. And of course...
and she goes to them, and she's like, oh no, escape, you two, there
Yeah.
are pirates here.
Yeah.
And they're like, ooh.
Because they thought she was gonna figure out that they're the pirates. But she's actually like, be safe, there are pirates out here, you have to run away. And I'm like, wow, how oblivious can you be? But then I think they share.
Yeah,
We're,
they
pirates.
confess.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're just gonna tell you. And she's like, we're the pirates. And she doesn't care. She doesn't turn them in or anything.
She actually offers to help. She, try to find their way.
To the
out.
docks.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it'll be fine. If they catch us, then I'll just yell that you
pretend.
guys kidnapped me. So she's pretty smart, at least.
And I liked how she was talking to Chopper about you taught me what it means to be a doctor. So I think she's trying to pay that back.
Yes. Which was cool because Chopper did operate on a lot of people because she couldn't even see blood. Because babies don't bleed, apparently. She's a pediatrician,
yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, apparently. So there's that, and those three are working on that escape or going to the Mary. And then we have Usopp, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji running, to the Mary, right?
I think they go out at the end of the hallway and they see Commander Jonathan in the balcony before they start shooting at them. And I really like this part because Luffy and the commander had an exchange when Luffy was stealing his meatballs.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can leave whenever I want. And, they had this little exchange where the commander was like, I don't even know why you're so confident about this. And so Luffy comes out of that hallway and he sees him and he's like, hey, Fortress guys, see, I rescued my friends. See, I'm doing it.
I like the interaction we have going on between the two.
Yeah.
I also like Jonathan a lot. And so they have that exchange, but then they're obviously running away or running towards Mary, and they're on that bridge. And wasn't it clear, right? They're like, "Oh, there's no one here."
Yeah.
And they're running, and then surprise, out of the bushes, that's at the end. I think at the end of the path,
end of the bridge.
Was it Unit 55?
Yes.
The Navarone. The hot-blooded unit of Navarone. That's the part of the title.
In the dub, they call them the legendary Unit 55.
Oh. Yeah,
they're
so
a bunch
come
of guys. They have a routine that they do. They start singing this weird song.
They're great. And there's that one guy who has the special moves. So he has the punching gloves on.
Yeah.
I was expecting the punching, but it was just the extended arm. He's like, shoo, and it just punches.
So they start fighting this legendary unit. And, of course, it's Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. And Usopp's just hanging on to the bridge and cheering them on. And they fight until Luffy makes a gum axe with his foot and breaks the bridge.
Yeah, well,
and they all fall.
Yeah, he didn't think of it far enough on that.
As always, I feel. He doesn't... So they all fall onto the water.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zoro. I think
Zoro. It was Zoro.
Yeah,
he
catches Luffy and he's like, oh, Jesus.
Why didn't you think ahead? Yeah. Once they get there, they still they do continue going back their way to Mary. This is when I noticed that when they're running, Zoro noticed that there aren't people interfering. He's like, why is this so easy?
Yeah.
Running. And then they get there, and then obviously everyone's ready for them.
Yes.
Because, I mean, obviously they would be going back to their ship. So it makes sense.
And that's when Nami and Chopper and Kabuto
Kobato sensei.
bust in.
Dr. Kobato.
And they're just there, and everybody stares. And I think Kabuto just starts screaming, right?
Kobato, I think that's when she does scream. She's like, I think they crashed in. This was a question I had for the end of this episode. I was like, when did Luffy get caught in a trap, in the net? And then it ended.
I remember that they sort of fired at them, and then I think one of the things that they fired was like this net.
So that's actually covered in the next episode, I think. Because
I'm mashing them together.
I went back. I was like, when did someone shoot at Luffy? At least when I went back, we see shooting, but then like one instant he's like not in a net, and then the next he's in a net. So I was like, what happened? And then there's like but that's how it ended. Nami and Ko come crashing in.
On home video, One Piece Adventure of Nebulandia is available now on Blu-ray and DVD. You can watch it dubbed for the first time, and it comes with an exclusive interview with the English cast, Ian Sinclair, the voice of Brook, and Michael Johnson, the voice of Kome. Also, One Piece episode of East Blue is now up for pre-order. It'll be coming out September 24th, also dubbed for the first time, with an exclusive 20th anniversary documentary featuring the English cast and the Funimation crew. You can get them both at funimation.com/shop. Episode 202, Breaking Through the Siege. The Going Merry is recovered.
Merry.
So this is where they show, right? The detail.
Yes. So they, I guess, rewind a little bit, and then they show more in detail about how the boys arrive. Like, I think once they arrive, they're like, oh, lots of people are here. It's a trap. And then they shoot at them, and Luffy does his balloon thing, and then all this fighting commences. But then they shoot that net, and Luffy starts losing power because I believe it has the sea prism. And then Nami and Chopper and Kobato come crashing in, and then screams.
Yes, and she goes at it. Like, she yells, and everybody's like, whoa.
Yes. And
Chopper, like, you remembered your plan. You didn't panic, because this is a new situation for her. So
she's grown.
Yeah.
Or maybe just never saw that side of her.
Yeah.
So Chopper, obviously people catching on. Chopper acts as that mean person. And then Zoro, I think we both noted, like, Zoro clapped for Chopper's acting.
Yeah.
Good job, Chopper.
Good job, Chopper.
But like, then
they can see you.
But no one's paying attention to them because because they're paying attention to Chopper and the hostage that they have to rescue now. Because Dr. Kobato, is this when we discover, or earlier, that she's Mekao's daughter?
Yes, this is when we discover it. And Mekao, he says something like, he knows his daughter, so he knows when she's really upset, so he's onto it. Like, he knows she's pretending.
I really like Mekao. And there was also, but man, all these moments when Luffy's just like, he doesn't fail to be Luffy, because when Chopper is acting to be like the bad guy, Luffy's like, I'm disappointed in you, Chopper. Or like taking hostage. Did you say that in the dub?
No, not that I remember, but that's hilarious.
Yeah,
of course Luffy would believe
I have
the
that.
act.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that's when Mekao releases the Mary, because they're trapped, and the Marines are trying to rescue the hostages, so they sort of come in and grab.
Because they still think Nami is still the hostage. Yes, because it's just Choppa who's a bad guy.
Exactly. Yep. They think, and Nami's screaming too.
Yep. Just as a nurse.
Yeah. So they grab on Kabuto, and they try to grab Nami too, but that's when Mekao releases the Mary, and Luffy grabs everybody. Yeah. With his long arm. He's like, okay, I'm going to gather my crew.
Yeah, he just like shoots his arm and then like just scoops them into,
And basically slams them onto the ship, and everybody's like, maybe be a little more gentle. I don't know.
Man, I love that moment. I love seeing these moments again. So he slams them into that ship, and then it's just Zoro and him left. He's like, okay, Zoro, it's just us two. And then he like stretches and tries to get on the boat too, but Zoro crashes into Mary, like hit their head really hard. And I'm just like, how do they survive? Like
all of these trauma.
Like, yeah.
So they're back on the Mary, and they start sailing. And Luffy's just glaring at Commander Jonathan with this big smile on his face. And I just love it because Luffy's just like, you know, how do you say that? Like, taunting him. You know, like, hey, look at me, still making progress.
And then Lobin comes in and joins them.
Yes. Is this where yes.
She comes in like so cool. She's so stylish. Like with style. Like what?
She's swinging from her own hands. We don't even know where she came from the cliff or whatever. And she just drops in, hey, guys, I brought us a map because I'm the only one who knows what we need.
Yeah, and then Nami's like, One-sama, at least in the Japanese, in the sub.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
One-sama is older sister, but with like an honorific of sama, which is pretty high. Nice. So it's very respectful.
In the dub, she calls her sis. Thank you, sis, or something like that. So, yeah, we got a map. We got the ship back. But Nami realizes that, along with the cannonballs that they realize that they can't shoot because they're not there.
Because Luffy's great idea,
was to blast the door.
But by bouncing back their cannonballs, right? And so he does that, and they have that opening. But they're like, Nami's like, wait, we didn't have those cannonballs, which is why we had to do that whole bouncing thing.
Yes.
But if we're missing the cannonballs, what else are we missing?
And the treasure is gone.
Yeah, the treasure is gone. So, okay, did you expect the treasure to be gone?
Actually, no. I had completely forgotten about the treasure, honestly.
Really?
I was like,
so much money. Or like gold.
I didn't think that I don't know. I didn't think they would just take the stuff. And when they said the cannons, you know, that the cannonballs were gone, I was like, oh, the cannonballs are gone, you know? But it's obvious that they take everything.
Yeah. In this case, even as I was rewatching it, and I'm pretty sure when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is too easy. I bet you the gold is gone, and it was gone. So that's interesting to
what
hear.
What happened. So, and that's where the episode ends when she's like,
yeah, Nami has no gold. Her gold is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. To be continued.
Yes. Episode 203, the pirate ship disappears. Fortress battle round number 2. Round number 2.
Round number 2. So
gold is gone.
Gold is gone.
The door is open though because they, bounce back those cannonballs and they're so close to escaping.
So they have this little debate, like, no, we should not go back for the treasure. And Nami's like, we absolutely have to go back for the treasure.
And I'm just like, gold is just one of those pretty sure things that Nami will risk their lives for.
Yeah, everybody's lives. And the ship, too. So what do you think? Like, do you think they should have gone back or no?
Okay, so this is when... Well, did you agree with her agreement?
With her argument?
Yeah.
Well, she did make a pretty good case, although I don't really, knowing Nami, I'm not sure if she made it up to justify that she needs the treasure or... if it was legit. I feel it was legit because it was very heartfelt.
Yeah, it was actually really nice. So she says it'll be divided. It will be divided equally, right? And then they start talking again about all the things they wanted. Yeah. Like, Choppa definitely wants more books.
Yeah.
Nami's like, well, I was considering putting a huge amount aside to repair the Mary.
For a very special lady, she says in the dub.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what she says in the sub.
Oh.
But she's like, we're going to set apart 80% for a very special lady. And they're all like, what? And then she says the Mary.
I don't think
and I'm like,
she said
oh, the Mary's a special lady.
I mean, Mary has... since they got... it's their first ship, right? Since Usopp joined them. Whoa, how many episodes back is that?
No, that's a lot. I don't even remember.
All that dirt,
I'm pretty sure that's like double digits still.
Yeah, definitely before the hundreds. because obviously they need a ship to be safe.
Around, right?
But I think this is when they all remember the good times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they all agree. They're like, that's true. The Mary deserves it. So they really should go back and get the treasure to be able to repair it. And they start remembering like good times with the Mary. And each of them like remember like a special piece. And that's pretty cool.
How do you feel about the Mary?
I mean, it's definitely special. And I feel like I feel since they feel so strongly about it, I feel like now I feel strongly about it because they feel very protective of it. Like Usopp, everything has a priority. Like everything, sorry, the other way around. Mary takes priority over everything for Usopp. Like when it comes to keeping the Mary safe, like Usopp will make it happen. Like when he did with the dials when they were falling from the sky.
Oh,
like he figured it out. Because,
he tried.
Because the Mary was in danger.
I mean, side note, I was like, how did he have all those dials? But anyway.
He traded them.
But all
for
of them
rubber
at one
bands.
time? Whatever. Yeah, it is priority, especially because he got it from Kaya.
From Kaya.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And
special ship.
So since they feel so strongly about it, and everybody else, like Chopper, when they leave Chopper with the ship, and he's like, I have to protect the ship. And so now I feel strongly about the ship too because they feel so strong about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I don't remember how I felt when I first watched it. I think also, right now, I'm very attached. I actually have a pillow. Do you remember
Yes, you have the cutest.
Yeah, it's a pillow of Mary.
Yes, pillow
Just a head.
hand warmer.
I love it. But I feel I love the Mary, and I have every time I'm like, oh, the Mary. I wonder. This probably does help you though, or helped me feel like that, right?
Yeah,
like
this
all
part
these
when
memories.
like, yeah,
like, it's true. They are she. I guess she is part of their crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's technically a crew member.
Them. She has been the vessel that has carried them like up Reverse Mountain.
Yeah,
and then through.
They go through all that. Like Zoro says,
crossing the Grand Line
with the ship. Mm-hmm. Nami joining the crew after the whole Arlong ordeal and being able to leave on the Mary to her new life, free life. And Usopp leaving on the Mary for the first time, of course, when he got it from Kaya. And Chopper mentions when he risked his life and all that. Yeah,
I liked it. I liked the flashbacks.
Yeah, it is, and it warms your heart.
It does. I'm glad you thought. I'm glad to hear what your thoughts are.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Mary, and they're like, okay, you're right. This is where a lot of the money should go. And so they decide to go back. Going back while the other marine ships are, obviously going after them.
Mm-hmm.
So Nami has to like call these like directions like on how to navigate so they avoid all the ships, right?
Yeah. And also something that Luffy says that I think might be important, he says that they need to get a shipwright. So I'm thinking that's who the next crew member might be, because they mention it a couple times in the next few episodes. Like, they need a shipwright to be able to fix the ship properly.
It makes sense.
It makes sense, I mean.
Because Usopp is, I think he calls himself, what was it? When he was talking to Meko, I think he said, I'm a sniper. So he's not. Yeah, I mean, he's a great inventor.
Yeah.
But he isn't
He's not a proper
yeah.
shipwright. That's true. So I'm excited to see who this shipwright is going to be.
I like how, do you remember Luffy mentioned another one?
A musician.
Yes.
And he's been wanting a musician for a while.
I love that. I'm just like, because his image of a pirate is like, they should always have music.
And sing.
I think that sounds like a happy pirate crew.
So now it's time for the social question.
Hooray.
Which we make every week on our social channels on Facebook, One Piece Official, and Twitter at One Piece Anime. So this week's question was, which funny moment in the G8 arc made you laugh the hardest? And, well, to me, that's hard to pick, honestly.
I liked a lot of moments in this arc.
Me too. And I really liked a lot of the answers that we got. For example, from Facebook, we have Ahab Abu Zara. Hopefully I said your name right. He's asked, when Luffy stole the food from the head of the base dish, which is, remember that when he was stretching his hands to get the meatballs?
The meatballs, yeah.
So that was hilarious because he got like his proper busboy face on when he delivered. And all he wanted to do was eat it.
He eat it on the way,
right?
Yeah.
I was like, this is so unlike Luffy.
Yeah.
He's doing
He
his job.
waited until he got there. And then it's like, well, I did it.
And then Christopher Swords says Luffy right here, and he has a screenshot of Luffy pulling the octopus out of his pants.
Oh, yeah.
Which was one of the most funniest moments to me.
Which I think
I
is
laughed
later
so
in this,
hard.
We'll talk about later in this podcast episode, but
yes.
So on Twitter, lots of people are mentioning Condoriano.
Yes.
There's one person, Lisbine, on Twitter. Every millisecond, Condoriano was on screen. I was like, that's one way you could spell it.
That is such a funny name.
And then another person mentions Luo. Mentions, not sure if this is GA, but the Mary's facial expressions as she was falling down towards GA. I think, I
think it was
it this
last
podcast episode?
No, it's
okay, it
the
was
last podcast episode. But still, that is a funny moment.
That is part of GA, kind of.
It is kind of.
With
like
it's
the beginning.
The eyes,
yeah,
and also the crew.
And the little sweat.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
My favorite moment, well, apart from the pulling of the octopus from the pants, because I literally
did not expect.
I was not expecting that at all.
Like how? It's anime. Because it's like, where's
That's a good answer. It's anime.
Was it on his backside so it looks like his butt, or like
I have no idea. He just did this and it was out of his pants.
Well, his shorts are kind of big.
I mean, he fell in the water earlier. The octopus was still there.
But
it
has like suction, so it can
not gonna question anything.
Stay securely on something.
It was suctioning off of Luffy's legs.
Maybe it's just like, I don't know.
But to me, other than that, was the part when Luffy was behind the soldier, and he's like doing this to Sanji, like the peace sign. He's like. That was hilarious to me. And some people put it in there too. Which one was your favorite?
What is my favorite? I think, I wonder if it's Condoriano.
It probably is. You mentioned Condoriano a lot.
I think it is.
And it's fun to say.
I think it is. It is my favorite. That's my favorite. One of my favorite. It's that and all the random Luffy silly moments we get.
Yes.
Yeah. Like when he's like, not doing the best job being stealthy.
Yes. And Sanji kicks him in the head.
But yeah.
He's just looking out the window.
Yeah. And then he's just like walking. And Sanji's like, be stealthy. Don't like just walk in plain daylight. Yeah.
So thank you everybody who answered our question. All of your answers were great. And keep watch next week for our social question on One Piece Official on Facebook and at One Piece Anime on Twitter. So now it's a good time for a break. We'll be back soon. Episode 204, The Golden Waiver Recovery Operations. I really like this episode.
I do too. So, they, decide to turn back, and they have this brilliant idea. Robin, honestly, Robin's like, oh, here's the map, or like, I think you'll be here, and all these like, I'm like,
drips of knowledge.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. And then like, I'm sure like Nami somehow could have figured it out, but it definitely helped to have Robin there with all this info she was probably gathering at the library. Mm-hmm. And of course, we kind of heard this before, but it used to have lots of harbors, and then like a lot of them are closed, and they're like, there's probably materials there. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they just disguise the Mary.
Yes, as a warship. I don't know where they got the supplies, but they did a pretty good job.
You gotta fix ships, so there's leftover
there's
supplies.
There's paint around cardboard.
The right colors because they're the marine base or harbor.
Yes. So, and Usopp comes up with a plan.
Yeah, because first they were just gonna go out.
Yeah.
But then like Usopp's like, wait. And I was like, oh, I don't remember this part, but I was like, oh, he's clever. Because he's like, Nami, where's your waiver? And now he's like, oh, I forgot. You're right. I left it somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so Usopp devises a plan and then clearly divides the group.
Yes, he divides the group up. And Chopper's super sad because they left him in the ship again.
Yeah, so the way he divided them was he was like, Nami, you gotta get your waiver. Mm-hmm. And then Sanji go with them. And then Sanji's like, what? A date?
He's so happy to go with Nami by himself. Oh my God.
And then it's Robin, right? Robin, Usopp, Luffy, and Zoro going to get the
treasure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you mentioned, Chopper's like, what about me? And then Usopp's like, well, we have to have someone to protect the ship, and also you treat our wounds when we're back, which is true. Like, it's very important for that doctor to be okay.
Yes, definitely.
So they split up, and they, like, I'm assuming, they go about their plan, and we see Commander Jonathan, and we figure out.
He finally figured out.
Yeah, Condoriano wasn't Condoriano. Or he is, but that's not his real name.
Yes. So they figure out that he's the real inspector, and they bring him out of the brig, and he's super mad. Well, I'd be mad too, honestly.
It was funny, but you're right. If I was him, I'd be annoyed too, because I'm the inspector of this place, and I had to be treated as a criminal, and also the pirates, smashed my head against the bars.
So, in sort of a power struggle begins here.
Yes.
Because the inspector is intent on closing down this base. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't want Commander Jonathan to capture the Straw Hats, because then it'll prove that they're useful. And
but at the same time, he wants to capture them. Right?
Yeah, and at the same time, he wants to capture them.
So
obviously he doesn't want them to get away.
Yep.
But he doesn't want the commander to do it. He wants to do it himself.
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, Usopp and Luffy and Zoro are sneaking in the barrels. And Robin's like, again. Guys, I can check.
So, okay.
Nobody here.
It just pops up in my head, the visual, like, very easily. It's just these barrels, and, like, Zoro and Usopp, like, it's two, like, the barrels moving. And then we discover it's Zoro and Usopp. And then Robin's not in a barrel because she uses her powers and is like, hey, it's safe. And then Usopp's like, why didn't you do that earlier? Or, like, why didn't you tell us? And then, of course, we have Luffy, who's sleeping because he's tired now. Or he's sleepy. It is nighttime.
So they find the door to where they think the treasure is, which is, like, this big metal door. And...
yeah, it's like a huge safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then of course, Commander's pretty good, and he predicted that. So there are all these Marines waiting. Mm-hmm. Usopp can't fight. So what happens is what we expect: Luffy, Zoro, and Robin just like using their powers, and they're like, "We leave the safe to you." And then Usopp's like working, and he's like, "This isn't my specialty, like Nami." Mm-hmm. But he's like, I should be able to figure this out."
Yeah. And he does. He ends up opening up the safe. And Robin makes a move, which I really like. She does a 30 floor, and, like, a lot of hands come out and just choke all of them.
Do you like her moves?
I love it. She's so useful.
She
it's like...
is. And I love her.
We don't need to fight ever, guys. Just send Robin in.
It's true. Robin is really powerful. I mean, honestly, she had to be. She's been a wanted person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. She's been wanted since, I think they say since she was 8 or 9, something like that. Mm-hmm. But we don't know. Well, at least I don't know why yet. Mm. It'll be interesting to know, finally.
I like Robin a lot, though. Mm-hmm. And her very useful skills.
So they finally open the door. Usopp makes it. And the gold isn't there. It's empty.
Surprise.
Timmy continued.
I wasn't surprised. I remember. Oh, you were?
I was. I was super surprised. I was like, yes, let's get the gold and get out of here.
In my rewatching, I knew it wasn't there.
Of course.
I did actually remember it wasn't there. And I'm pretty sure when I first watched it, I think I didn't think it was there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yo soy tan ilusa.
And so, okay, well, gold wasn't there. To be continued. Episode 205, the one fell swoop plan. Jonathan's surefire secret tactic.
Ooh. So Nami and Sanji are trying to get the waiver, and they find it, right?
Yes.
And Nami's like, okay, jump in, hold on. And Sanji's like,
I get to hold on to her. And then he's like too tight or like too close. And Nami's like, I can't use the waiver if you're that close.
Yes.
But yeah, they rescued the waiver. It is useful. And it is like awesome technology.
Yes, and it's a rare item.
Yeah,
like
it
you
is rare.
can't get it. Like
even
you
in
guys
Skype,
got
I
this
think,
at
right?
the Sky.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the safe, and Major Shepard. He wants to take care of the Straw Hats, and he's super confident about it. He takes out this big ass cannon that he doesn't know how to use because he doesn't read the instructions.
I thought it was funny. I was like, it is very big.
Yeah.
And he just pulls it up, and I'm like, oh. And they're like, oh. But of course, he doesn't know, as you mentioned, how to use it.
Mm-hmm. So he shoots it backwards.
He shoots it.
Yeah.
And it happens to be backwards.
Yeah. And again, Robin takes care of it. She's like, just pulls arms off of him and takes care of the cannon, and it's like, let's go.
So after all that trouble, Luffy, Nami, Robin, and Zoro fighting off the Marines, and Usopp opening the safe. No gold. Where's the gold? Right? So I think they're talking, where do you think the gold is? Where do you think the gold is? And then at one point, Luffy suggests, hey, let's just, go to the kitchen.
Yeah, he suggests hiding in the kitchen because that's supposedly the place where they won't look for them.
Which
makes a little sense.
Because people are rotating through the dining area because they had to be eating, but maybe, as someone mentions and you kind of maybe hint, it might make sense because why would you go into the sea of enemy?
Yeah, but he really just wants to eat.
Yeah,
He's
well,
hungry.
we know the truth.
Exactly. So Nami and Sanji make it back to Mary, and since the others haven't come back, Nami tells Sanji to stay with Chopper and goes see what's up.
Although Sanji wanted a date number 2.
Yes. And when she gets to the rest of the crew and they tell her what happened, there was no treasure, she's like, okay, everybody go back to the ship, and Luffy and I will go get it because Luffy knows where the commander's office is.
Okay, so what happened was, though, right? But why they're even looking for the commander's office is because I think before Nami finds them or something, they find Kobato and her dad.
Oh, right.
Yes,
You're
and then
right.
her dad gives them a hint that, if the commander likes fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talks about bait.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
And they don't get it. But then they meet up with Nami, and then they share that with Nami, and Nami's like, oh, I figured it out, I think. And so tells everyone else to go back to the ship, and Nami and Luffy head to where she assumes it's where the commander can keep his eye out on. Mm-hmm. And so they head to the commander's office, which Luffy, good job, remembers.
Yes.
He's like, oh, it's that way.
So they get in there, and it is obviously another trap. So many traps are set in
Surprise!
This. Yeah. Luffy's trapped again on another sea prism net, and Nami's like, what am I going to do?
Were you surprised when the gold was just there?
You just
in that corner?
In the corner?
Yeah, just sitting
yes. there. Yeah, I thought it would be harder. I mean, we got the safe that was super hard to open, and then it was empty. I thought that we would get another challenge, you know, and then it was just there.
It would be hidden in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just
there.
Yeah, and Nami's like, it's just there.
I love when those bits happen, like things that they weren't expecting, and they all get like these surprise faces.
The facial expressions.
Yeah.
I especially, throughout One Piece, but I think G8 has a lot of good faces.
Yeah, agreed. So the gold is there.
Marines come in because obviously the commander pretty much predicted it. Mm-hmm. And Luffy gets hit with that net. And
then Nami's trying to figure it out because Luffy can't help her, and she's surrounded by Marines now. and she takes out her
Tacto,
Mhm.
right? Mm-hmm.
and she blows. She does. It's so hilarious because when she uses it,
Uh-huh.
I can't help laughing
Why?
because she's doing the little dance and the sprinklers come out and then she's blowing bubbles and it just looks silly. But then you see that she actually created a storm, so it's super useful.
I love that. I mean, okay, I don't know how possible that thing actually
Right.
is, but putting that aside, I love how Usopp, it's made for her, like with her expert knowledge on
Yes.
like weather,
Temperatures.
yeah, et cetera, like how she can manipulate it to, and it's a great tool for someone who doesn't have where the brains, like her power, like her strength is like her knowledge, right?
You're
Not
right.
necessarily like fighting.
Because no one else can just use it.
No.
They won't know how to use it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess another person who's as
exactly.
like, but
Her-
Nami's supposedly very, very good at it. Mm-hmm. But she creates that storm.
Yeah,
inside
she
the
creates
office.
a thunderstorm inside the office and grabs Luffy and the treasure and
Yeah. She's like grabs Luffy. Luffy grabs the treasure, and they go on the waiver and shoot out.
they back to the Mary. They're on their way again.
You know, I didn't think about this, but I guess it was easier then. It should have been.
Definitely. Especially since it was just them two. But Nami figured it out, which is great. I mean, Nami's got her stuff too. So they're on the Mary again, and we see the commander, like, he's not worried because there's a trap waiting made by nature. So cryptic.
Yes,
and then
yeah.
Then the episode ends. And I'm
Dun,
like,
dun, dun.
what is the trap? Another trap? And don't forget, you can watch all One Piece anime episodes on Funimation.com/One Piece or the Funimation Now app. And check out our blog at funny.to/One Piece Podcast for all the info on binge routes, maps, and everything you need to know.
We have some nice videos too.
Yes.
Oh, some might be spoilers.
Careful.
Episode 206, Farewell Marine Fortress, the last battle for escape. 206. I mean, we're almost there, but I think these two last episodes, 206 and 207, are some pretty interesting episodes that we can talk about.
Yes, I agree. So we begin right where we left off. The guys are making their way on the Mary towards the door. But we see that the tide is going down and it's strapping them, and like the seabed under it, under the water,
The
is
reef.
very rough. And it's called, you note it here, the Fangs of Navarone.
I think that's what they called it, the Fangs of Navarone.
That's scary. But it was a good thing that the tide was going down because Luffy, instead of trying to assess the situation, just tells everybody to move on faster. And so the Mary crashes into one of the fangs and gets a hole.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming that like those spiky things are the fangs that they're referring to, but I'd have to go back and check. But yeah, so great. It's Mary, and it gets even more damage than she already is. Despite all
Yes. But
Poor
luckily,
Mary.
the tide being so low works because then no water comes into the Mary.
That's true. The hole, yeah. Because they're like, block the hole. And like Usopp is like standing, trying to block the water from coming in with his body. But I'm like, are you just going to stand there forever?
Right.
Like, it's not going to work. And then, the water does go out because low tide. But stuck. It's stuck there now because there's no water.
Yep.
But they have a plan.
They have a plan. They start like figuring out what they can do, and this is so funny because they start talking. Well, if only we had that octopus that we had before, we could inflate it. And the camera starts going in a circle of them talking. about the
It's like, each of them are like, oh yeah, if only we had the octopus. We don't have the octopus. And then Luffy injects himself. I have it, or we have it.
Yeah. And I think, well, at least in the dub, he says, I have it, when the camera passes him by. And then everybody else starts, oh, Luffy has it. Luffy has it.
Oh,
Luffy has it?
I don't know what they said exactly in the sub.
So They're like, wait, you have it? Where?
This is the moment we're talking about.
moment when Luffy just pulls the octopus out of his pants.
It's quite small now.
It is, well, it's too big for his pants.
Well,
anyways.
okay, yeah, but like compared to what the size it was when it was
definitely.
carrying the ship down.
Definitely. And the octopus is just there. And he's super proud. Like his face, when he pulls the octopus out of it, you can find the screenshot soon on our Twitter. He's just like, here it is. And everybody else is like, Zoro's face is super annoyed. Usopp's just like, what WTF is going on? And Nami's just like, what? You had this whole time? How?
I mean, great. I don't know why. I forget why Luffy grabbed him. I feel like maybe because he saved them and they're, yeah. You know how Luffy
I think he explains why, but obviously I'm not sure it even make more sense. But it works because it helps them escape their current
figure
situation.
Out their plan. Yeah. So they have that plan. They're like, okay, if we had the balloon and they have the balloon, they can like use air, wind, and fire to like make it like a hot air balloon.
Exactly.
But then they do have to make sure the ship, launches itself into the air.
Yes.
And the only way probably to do that is with the impact dial, which Usopp pulls out, right? Yeah. But he gets it and he's like, okay, who's gonna set off the impact dial?
Yeah, and it goes around everybody, and everybody's just looking at him with starry eyes.
Their shiny eyes. Even Luffy and Usopp's like, what? And they're like, well, the one who has it should probably do it. And Usopp takes it for the team. But he has support. The first time he does it, yeah, he's like holding it.
Yeah, everybody's holding him.
Usopp, Zoro, and Sanji, I think, are supporting him, and the others are like using the dials for the balloon.
Yes. So I do want to mention that it was a great thing that Usopp traded all of these dials for rubber bands.
Yeah. You think he just used the rubber bands? I know that was what was in high demand.
Remember that
he had iron.
He had iron plates too, but they were like, or at least the lady who he was showing it to was like, no, it's okay. All I want is like these rubber bands, and the other guy goes like, I want 4, and yeah. They became very popular in Skypiea,
so
apparently.
Random to have lots of rubber bands. And I was thinking about it because I feel what are they going to do with the rubber?
Who knows?
I want to know.
I think actually Jonna mentioned that they made a rubber band theme park in the manga.
Oh, no. Oh,
or something like that.
This is getting off topic, but I love... So... You do like at the beginning of every chapter there's an illustration.
Yeah.
And actually I own these manga releases that put together all the illustrations in a book. So you don't have to buy. I mean,
you don't have to go through the manga
you
to
don't
see
have,
each
it's
one.
actually all put together. I'm gonna bring it in and you can see it.
Yes. I love that. So Robin holds the octopus with all her hands. Again, super useful. And well, they do like the impact dial, right? They do the impact dial.
Thanks, Usopp.
Thank you, Usopp. And Robin uses all her hands to hold the octopus open, and they fill it. Nami and her fill it with air and
air.
Yeah, right. And then they use the fire dial. I don't remember its actual name to heat up the air, and then that inflates the octopus, and the Mary is able to take off.
Yeah,
it
so
works.
It launches.
Yeah.
Does it launch? Because Usopp has to use it twice.
Yes, because once they start inflating, they need like the impulse to make it move, to make the ship move.
Yeah, so they launched it, then they did the whole hot balloon thing, and then they launched
the impact dial
again. Usopp was like, I guess I'll do it again, but I need your support.
Yeah. And everybody holds him again. Aw, that's how you do difficult stuff with your friends.
Together.
So yeah, and then we see
the last attempt to stop them.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the commander, like Jonathan has it figured out. He has a plan for everything. He's been great, I think, thus far. I like him.
Yes, he has been very strategic.
Yeah. He worked with it. He's like, okay, if this happens, I'll do this. And he's the one who figured out it probably wasn't the actual shepherd who would be right, all these things. And so It's like, okay, so shoot, but he has that plan where they're like, he's like, as they're going up, do a warning shot and then like I guess another shot at the octopus because they want the crew alive, right?
Yes.
And they're like in place to set this plan in motion, and of course, who do you have coming in? Shepherd.
Yes.
Special inspector or just inspector?
Special Inspector Major Shepherd. And he launches a cannon again, and he fails. And he makes the other plan fail.
I mean, you say it so easily, but he was like, I will take...
He makes this whole speech.
Yeah, and he has this huge bazooka, and he, like, targets them, and then shoots, and it at least doesn't shoot backwards. But then, you're right, it misses. And it just crushes the rock above the people who were going to shoot at the Straw Hats.
Uh-huh.
And Commander Jonathan is just like, well, thanks, Shepherd.
Yeah, right. But I do like that Commander Shepherd does look into the positive of it all. Like, because they were worried that if they didn't catch the Straw Hats, they would shut the base down because they wouldn't seem as useful. But I don't remember right how he said it, but he did say like that this whole situation did allow everybody to work together and
be more unified,
and show that they can handle difficult situations and work together.
Yeah. And so Straw Hats were a positive influence on the whole like group.
Yeah.
Because not only the Marines who were like fighting, but the cooks, remember Sanji?
Yes. Yes, the cooks, they really want to use Sanji's recipes because they're like, yeah, he's a pirate, but he's also like a great cook.
Yeah.
And he left us his recipes and we should be able to,
like not being wasteful of the resources that are available.
Yes, and I like that part because Jessica's like, oh, you'll dishonor this kitchen if you use that recipe. But then she shows that she's also influenced by Sanji because she says that they need to use like every scrap. So she's like, I'm like, well, that's you're being, you're saying
you're
double messages. Like you're telling them no. But
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But
because it's a matter of pride at that point. It's like a good resource to be using what Sanji left.
Yeah,
you should be using what you have to I agree. So that was a different episode, but like that is another example of how the Straw Hats made the place better.
Yeah,
better food, more unified.
I bet they'll have better security now.
Better know how to do their job. I mean, I think they were like capable men, but it was just like it was probably relatively peaceful in that area, right? So that action, it was almost training.
It was a very weird situation because this ship just fell from the sky into the base.
Oh,
like they can control the entrance of the base, so they wouldn't have had the situation any other way.
It's true, but that does remind me. The commander was always like, well, even if. So when they were escaping, he never didn't think they wouldn't try to escape by flying.
Yes.
Did that make sense, that sentence?
Maybe not, but I understand what you wanted to say.
But like, he mentioned, remember, they did come from the sky. So they could escape from the sky when anyone might have thought that Mary would be stuck because the water was like gone with the low tide. And of course I like the two together, Jessica and the commander. They're a good couple.
Yeah, they look like a very successful marriage.
At least I think they're married, right? They were married.
Yeah, they said that he was her husband in the kitchen.
Yes.
Sanji's like,
yeah, so it ends with Luffy being like, I'm hungry or something, and they're just flying off in.
Sanji, make me food. Next episode, 207, Great Adventure at Long Ring Long Land.
Yes. Long Ring Long Land. Long Ring Long. We'll try to say that really fast. It's a tongue twister. Okay. 207 is such an interesting episode in many different things. So many things. Aspects. So first of all, new opening.
Yes. There's a new opening.
I really like this song. It's called Kokoro no Chizu, Map of the Heart, I think is the English title.
Oh, that's nice. Yes. That's a very nice
By
title.
Boy Style.
I really like it. I like that when Also, the animation that they're all like falling from the sky. It's pretty cool. The beginning.
Oh, it's such a catchy tune. Oh, yeah, I'm not that saying. But and we also notice it's HD. It's 16. Like
yes, this is the first episode that is in 16:9 format. So we finally can see it in the full screen. Yay!
And you notice the animation.
Yeah, the animation looks super different. Obviously, now we have a little bit more quality in the image. So everything is very defined, like the characters in the water, the ship. Everything looks so good. When it started, I was like, whoa, this is different. But it was great. It looks great.
You know, I really liked 4-3. I know old animation does look, I mean, it looks dated. But in my rewatch, I've been appreciating a lot of like the ways the old animation has been done.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching from the first episode how it progressively changes and how you can notice like small changes in between episodes.
How it's changed. I'm going to keep an eye out on like where I notice all these different changes coming, because I'm watching a simulcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, when did it change? It looks quite different. And this episode aired at the end of October in 2004, which is around the 5th year anniversary of the One Piece anime. So, Jocelyn, you're 5 years into the anime.
5 years in a couple months.
Yes.
Look at that.
And so they're still flying. Octopus. They're in the air. And while they're in the air, I think Usopp and
Chopper.
Are at the bottom of the ship trying to fix that part.
Yeah, the hole.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you fix that?
Apparently by putting a lot of planks together on the hole, and that'll keep the water from coming in somehow. I'm not sure. It was very weird to me that they fixed it from the outside. Are you supposed to do that from the outside or from the inside?
I don't know anything about fixing ships.
But it worked. The important thing is that it worked.
Where would you do it, the inside or the outside?
I don't know. I guess it makes more sense on the outside if the pressure of the water is pushing the planks in. If they were in the inside, it would be less pressure.
Or like it would be pushing it in,
exactly,
onto the ship. Right?
Exactly.
I would do outside too, but I also know nothing about the ships. Because if there's a hole at the bottom of the ship, I would just be like, I don't think you can fix it.
Yeah, right. Let's get a new boat.
I mean, that is also a difficult choice, especially because of all the costs. But I would be like, isn't it the end? We can't give up on Mary. We can't give up on Mary. So they fix it. And so the Dao runs out and they drop into the ocean. And they say farewell to the octopus. Luffy's like, you saved us twice.
Thank you, Mr. Octopus. And I really like Chopper was super cute, like fixes him a little bit because his little feet got injured by the pressure. So Chopper tends to him and then Luffy releases him. Bye. Hope you make new friends.
In the blue sea. Yeah. Because he's from the sky, right?
Yeah. He's on his way to make a new life.
Yeah. A new journey.
So, then Usopp's like, okay. Oh, I think Luffy says like, okay, on to the next island or on to the next adventure. And Usopp's like, hey, can we take a break? A little bit, maybe rest a bit. And I feel for him. I'm like, because they've been through so long. Yeah.
And at least in the anime, the G8.
Yeah, since that ship fell from the sky way back when, at the beginning of the Skype arc, until now, they've been at it like for a while.
It's essentially them.
But they deserve a good night's rest, I feel. I'm with Usopp.
Okay,
I'm like, you guys could take a break. But there are no breaks for the Straw Hats, apparently. Yeah, a wave comes by. Nami's like, no rest, because as Nami, super talented in predicting how the sea and the weather behaves, she knows that there's a wave coming, and we see it as a super giant wave with sea monkeys inside. And they look cute.
I think
dangerous but cute.
They're huge.
Yeah, they're super huge.
I think they're the ones who caused that wave.
Yeah, they're the ones they're having fun. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like. It reminds me of, you know how dolphins ride waves for fun?
Mm-hmm.
So it reminded me of that.
I
Like
think I know.
they're just riding the waves for fun. And we see another ship as, you know,
Oh, yeah.
the wave.
With the frog. Was it a frog head?
I'm not sure. I remember it was green, so maybe it
Yes,
was a
yeah.
frog head. But Usopp, I think, notices that the crew of this ship is incomplete. They don't have, like, they're like, what should we do? Call our navigator. There's no navigator. Captain,
yeah.
there's no captain. And the ship gets swallowed by the wave.
Yeah, because they're at first when they detected, I think they were noting how like everyone looked lifeless, not motivated, and then you're right. So Straw Hats are trying to escape the sea monkeys, and they pass by and they're like, "Hey, there's a
There's a
huge
wave
wave
coming."
coming." But while they're doing that, you're right. That's when they say, "Oh, should we attack? Should we navigate?" Like all these things, and then they get swallowed.
Yeah.
By
And
the
the
way.
the sea monkeys are super enjoying it. They're like laughing, and I'm like, you're
Having fun.
a bit evil, but okay.
So we have that bit with the wave.
Then something happens that I feel is going to be important later on, right? So we see Bellamy, and he's fighting against one of his crew members. And we hear that, and this guy, who apparently is called Doflamingo, is like saying how he disgraced the symbol, and you know that's why he's making him do this. And I'm like, wait, he's making him what? So it turns out he can make people do things. Like he can control people's bodies, I feel. And so
He's making them fight each other.
He's making them fight each other, and eventually, or at least that's what we see, the crew member just
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
Bellamy.
So
That's scary. Like somebody being able to control you and make you do things that you don't want. That's like the ultimate fear for me.
I wonder what my ultimate fear is. That is definitely scary because what if I hurt people I love,
Right.
my friends and family? Out of all the powers, I would definitely think of one of those powers, right? It's like a power to be able to control someone.
Yeah. Yes.
'Cause
It's
it is a
definitely
great
a power
power.
that we've seen somewhere.
Or like in
before.
other
Yeah.
series or
Yeah,
shows.
exactly,
Like
other-
it's a power you would think of. Like of all the powers, what would you want? I think it's not an uncommon idea. But okay, Doflamingo.
Yes.
I believe he actually. Is this your first time seeing him? I believe.
I think this is the first time I remember seeing him.
Okay, I
Yes.
didn't know because obviously, you'll find out more later about him. But I was like, is this when Jocelyn first sees him? But I think he appeared earlier when there was an episode with the 5 elders.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. Because they meet at briefly at Mary Joa.
I think it's Marisha.
And we sort of get like this small intro, because it didn't really last that long, of the warlords coming together to figure out
Shichibukai. Yeah.
how to replace Crocodile.
Crocodile. Yep.
And somebody makes a suggestion, and that's where that bit ends, and we don't know anything else. But you're right, Doflamingo might have been there. I just don't remember because I didn't.
Pay attention.
There was
it was so
it
quick.
wasn't nothing super important that would make me remember him happen. But I do remember this meeting. So you're right. I
think he was
I
in
think he
it.
was there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah.
So it expands. The
Shichibukai.
universe will expand. The world will expand more. Interesting. So yeah, this power is super scary, and he says something that I'm like, okay. He says that we're drawing close to a new era of champions. Like where power will be more important. I'm like, ooh.
I think in Japanese it was like a new era. I don't know what it was though. Something similar of pirates or powers. Man, all these things that are coming up, Jocelyn. With
And this is the last episode of this podcast.
it's interesting because we have ended the whole like Sky Island kind of arc, and we're now starting on a new story, kind of.
And then that's all we see from Doflamingo. So we just get like this tiny intro, and I just can't wait to find out more. What is he? When are we meeting him? Like, I'm always excited when I see, like, the super powerful bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, when do we meet him?
Oh, man.
When do the Straw Hats get to him? So I'm excited for that. And so we go
really
back to
like that arc, by the way.
Yeah?
That will be coming up.
Ooh.
It won't come up exactly. But anyway, just look forward to it.
Exciting. There's a new eye catcher with Luffy looking through a spyglass.
Yeah,
It's
some
fun.
kind of telescope. Yeah. A handheld one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
You like them?
yeah, I like it. I mean, I do miss the
Wanted posters.
The wanted
Yeah,
posters.
them flying in.
I was always wondering, like, it's gonna be Nami. No, it's Luffy. It's Usopp. Because they changed. So far, we've just seen Luffy. I bet we'll see more later on.
Also, with the wanted posters, you might see them come back.
Ooh, I like that. So we go back to the crew, and this is a funny bit here because Usopp tells Robin, like, hey, Robin is up at as lookout.
Yes.
And he tells her, like, hey, let us know when there's an island. And Robin goes like, oh, we've been approaching one for a while.
she's actually like just very factually, oh, there is an island.
Yeah, there is one island. We've been approaching it for a while. And Usopp's like, why didn't you say that before? Just like the barrels. And Luffy starts demonstrating.
Well,
like
Usopp
this.
is like, demonstrate, Luffy.
Yeah. Land ho! He starts yelling. I see an island! Yay! You should be excited.
And then Robin ignores.
Yeah. She just keeps talking about important stuff.
Usopp is often ignored by Robin.
Yeah. And he takes it very personal. He's like, don't ignore me, Robin. But it's not important, Usopp. Now you know there's an island.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's like, why did you need to know earlier?
So they reach this island, and everything is long. Literally.
Yeah.
Like, the trees are very long.
Yep. Very, very tall and skinny.
Long apples.
Yep.
And we see, like, long animals.
Yep. The bear. They jumped on.
Right. They jumped on a very long bear. And there's this dog, super long, too. Like, couple miles long, and they're like, wait, he's still passing through?
And they tried to play like limbo.
Yeah, Usopp tries to limbo the dog. Oh, Usopp.
And then we come by like it seems like a little tent or like a home, right? Some home. They're looking around and they discover a majestic white horse.
Yes.
Whose name is Shelly. I think Chopper was talking with her. And she's really pretty. And they're like trying to figure out who's your owner, where's your owner. And then you see these bamboo sticks.
Yes.
Luffy notices this. I was like, good job, Luffy. But he tells Usopp, hey, watch these 2 bamboo sticks. And they watch, and it moves.
And they move.
Yeah. And they freak out. Yeah. Because they're like, trees shouldn't be moving. They're just plants. They should be stationary.
Yes. So, of course, Luffy starts fighting the bamboo, and he breaks them, and somebody falls from the
heavens.
bamboo. Yeah, from the heavens. And it turns out the bamboo sticks were stilts. And this old guy, has been stuck on these stilts for 10 years.
10 years.
And everybody's like, wait, what? How did you even survive?
So he mentioned, I ate the trees.
Yeah.
I mean, the apples off the trees.
Yeah, because the trees are
tall.
also very tall.
And he mentioned the trouble of like the bamboo that kept growing taller and taller. And I was, how does bamboo keep growing after being cut and made into stilts? But
no sense.
And
but
also, I was like, what did he do about the bathroom?
Right?
Yeah.
And sleeping.
Did he go into it? So he's high enough to maybe grab a tree? What happened?
I guess. I mean, yeah. I
need to go back, and sometimes a lot of fun facts are shared about like all these questions fans might have in those manga like chapter covers that Donna mentioned. I'm going to go. I really need to bring them, and we should study them together.
Yeah,
avoiding spoilers, but
yes, I feel like there had to be a way that he could have gotten off of those stilts in less than 10 years.
He was just too scared of that height,
right? That's right. He did mention he was scared of heights. So
I mean, my other question was, how did he get on them? Because they're so tall.
Right. No idea.
Anyhow,
No idea.
let's,
I feel
stop
if it was
asking
me,
questions.
I maybe would have gone into the ocean until, or maybe he didn't know how to swim. But I would have tried going into the ocean until I was,
like
you know,
a gotcha.
yeah,
but then if he doesn't
level.
know how to swim,
yeah.
then he wouldn't
And
have
that
been able
sucks,
to make
yeah.
it back.
Also, he would have had to go very, very deep.
That's
because they're super
or
tall.
actually, even if he had gone in enough, you're right. They are pretty tall.
Yeah.
But you never know how ocean floors work because they could dip pretty
True.
deeply. Like
True. Point is, he's now free.
Yes.
Thanks to Luffy.
Luffy's curiosity.
Yeah. So he says, they ask him, like, why is everything so long on this
Yeah.
island? And his answer is very weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
He says that, as you can see, because the island is very plain and everything is just very long. And he says, well, as you can see, there's not much on this island, so everything is long out of a long for excitement. What?
What? No, I read
That's
the
what it
subtitle.
says in the dub.
I read the subtitle and I took
What does
a
it say in the
note.
sub?
So the sub is pretty close. It's a longing for excitement too. I
So
wish
it has
I
a
had
longing effect.
I wish I had written down what the
Oh,
exact
Oda.
Japanese line was because it's a bad pun, like
Yeah?
a play on words.
Oh, I see.
Basically, it's not a good reason. It's
No,
not a
definitely
good
it's
reason.
not a
yeah,
good
yeah. There's no good reason, and so they're all long. And not only are they long, the way their names are just like stretched out words.
Exactly.
Right. It's like
That's
zebra,
Yeah, that's a horse.
and you just extend the name, and that's what it is.
And obviously, it's not the same as a zebra. It's a zebra.
Yeah.
Which is a long
I
zebra.
don't think we have seen a zebra, but
No,
that's
but
what
there
it
is
would
a
be.
horse. So yeah, and then meanwhile, the other guys who stayed behind at the ship, we see this weird ship that has like chain claws. I want to say, just trap the Mary in between these claws, and yeah, they declare themselves the Foxy Pirates, and
Foxy Pirates.
yep, and they want a showdown, whatever that means. And that's where the episode ends. And that's the last episode of this podcast. And
Yes.
I couldn't go further. And I was like, no, this is where it all begins. I need to know more.
Oh, man. Yeah, so it's an interesting episode to end on for this podcast episode. And we have also a new ending.
Yes, we do.
There was one that was broadcast in Japan, but Funimation, or I think in the US, I'm not quite sure. It's a different ending.
So-
Which I like. Do you
Mhm.
like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I like it.
I like this one, but I like the new opening. I really like the new opening.
But I do want to mention that the last OP and ED were the last dubbed songs for One Piece. So from now on, we'll just have Japanese.
You know,
songs.
there's a lot of changes starting from 207. Of course, it's HD. And I think I noticed that on the opening slate, they left the text as when I was watching on Funimation, the title is left in Japanese and there's subtitle. But then before that, I believe the title themselves was in English.
I think
and
so,
there was
too.
also in English subtitle.
I wonder. I mean, I really enjoyed the English songs. I'm kind of sad that I won't have any more, honestly. But yeah, that's the end of this podcast episode.
A whole new Foxy Birds. So that's the end. Any predictions?
So, I mean, like I said before, I wonder if we'll meet Doflamingo soon, because I know he was put there, to sort of give us like a teaser. I'm pretty sure we won't see him here in Long Island. But I do know that we'll obviously have to deal with this Foxy Pirates, whoever they are, and whatever their showdown is. So yeah, and also I think that maybe something weird is happening on this island, since the other ship was half empty. Like maybe the people disappear or something.
I forgot about
That's my
that.
prediction. People disappear somehow. But I don't know. We'll see.
Man,
You can't tell me, MJ.
I'm trying to. I don't know if I'm looking forward to rewatching this part.
Why not?
it's funny. There are lots of funny moments, but I'm not gonna. I wonder if I share this, it'll be a spoiler.
It probably will.
Okay. I also don't want to bias you in any way.
No, don't tell me.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. But I wonder if other rewatchers are feeling somewhat similar to me. I don't know. I wonder what they feel about the upcoming episodes.
Let us
and
know.
Upcoming new characters.
We'll see. So we really hope you all enjoyed this One Piece at a Time episode. Don't forget to check out the Funimation blog at funny.to/One Piece podcast, which will be updated constantly with the binge routes, maps, and everything you need to know. Also head to our shop at funimation.com/shop and add One Piece home video to your collection. And for all things One Piece, follow us on Facebook at One Piece Official and Twitter at One Piece Anime.
Yes, and we want to thank the people who make this podcast happen, the creator of One Piece, Oda Sensei, Toei Animation, the audio engineers, and of course everyone joining us on this journey, all you straw hats out there listening. Also, please rate this podcast wherever you're listening to
5 stars.
and share it with other One Piece nakama. Share comments too. The next One Piece at a Time will cover anime episodes 208 to 215. So be sure to watch on Funimation now, sub or dub, and be ready.
See ya.
Bye.